guys, so welcome to Real Estate Insight with Matthew Brown. I'm so excited and I am amazed to have you here with me on this our first episode. Trust me, it promises to be an amazing section and one that will turn your life around. Trust me, the real estate market is so big, it has the ability to turn things for you. But you have a lot of questions. What is the market about? What is real estate? Like, is it the right investment for you to take? Is it something that can change your life in a twinkle of seconds? And me, I probably may not be the expert, but trust me, at Real Estate Insight, we're going to be looking in depth into all of this. And we'll be releasing one episode per week. And we'll be talking to different industry experts in the real estate market. The real estate market is estimated to be over $1.9 billion. And it is one of the fastest growing industry in the world right now. And in Nigeria, it's really growing. I think the last estimate I saw was about, whether $9.1 million, thereabouts. And trust me, you should be part of this industry. So join me as we welcome one of the amazing guests we have for today's episode. We literally have a lot of questions and we are dying to get started. So join me as we get started, as we invite one of our amazing guests. It's from one of the fastest growing real estate firm here in Abuja, Don Rex Luxury Apartments. He's the general manager of the Don Rex Luxury Apartment and he's here to discuss with us everything you need to know about real estate. Please don't forget to follow, like, to share, to subscribe. Just stay, just focus, because trust me, this can be something that will change your life. It's going to be a game changer this year for you. And apart from that, there'll be a lot of opportunities. They're going to also be talking to us about the opportunities their firm will be offering and the opportunities for properties and all of that. So join me as we go into talking to our guests. Thank you. All right, so here we have with us our guest. Like I said, I'm so excited to have him here. It's been a privilege actually speaking to Mr. Kingsley. And so before we get started, I just want you to just tell us about yourself and a bit of your background in the real estate industry.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Kingsley Oronsaye, as he has rightly introduced. I'm the general manager of Don Rex Luxury Apartments Limited in Abuja here, the fastest growing real estate company in Abuja, and we deliver quality, we deliver fantastic products for our esteemed clients. I've been in the industry for a couple of years and I have seen the industry transform, literally overnight. I can tell you for sure, as of this year, the real estate market now constitute 5.2 or 5.3% of Nigerian GDP, which is now bigger than oil and gas. In short, it's only outsized by crop production and trade. So you can imagine the quantum of money or value in the real estate. As at the estimates that we have now is that by the end of this year, the real estate industry will be worth about 2.6 trillion naira.
Wow.
Which is massive.
Wow, that's really massive and interesting. That's really, wow.
And an interesting part of that is out of that 2.6 trillion naira, 2.25 trillion is purely residential real estate.
Wow, just residential real estate.
So residential real estate. So you can imagine the volume, the opportunity that is present
in the market. All right. But that's quite interesting. Literally, you see, there's so much to learn from this. Okay, so one of the biggest questions every person has been asking, especially those who are still new and they just still new into this industry, or people that are looking from outside and getting saying so much money in it. One question they ask is, what is the real estate market?
Now, the real estate market is anything that has to do with land, the building and infrastructure on that land, and even whatever natural resources is also on that land. That means what is both above and below the land constitutes the real estate market for you. So what that means is that if you are lucky enough to buy a piece of land that has oil underneath, then that oil becomes yours also. So it all has to be valued.
So there's no luck in the market. Wow, that's quite interesting. That's quite interesting. So yeah, it's what you said about the fact that the real estate market also is just has to do with land, both landed property, what's above and what's it's an interesting point. But I also want to ask just something which has to do with it does. Is it only about land sales in the real estate market?
It goes beyond that. Like I would like to say, one of the ways you can really understand how real estate goes, because the challenge that for most people, especially for the residential aspect of real estate, people look at buying land to build a house, to own a home. But if you come from the perspective that real estate or property is not just building a house, but is investing in something that is tangible, something that the value keeps on increasing. It gives you a whole new
perspective
and understanding on that. So those are the people who have this perspective are the people who are making a killing in the real estate. I'll tell you a story. I know a chap who bought a property in Asukoro a couple of years ago, probably over a decade ago, for less than 200 million. He's a banker, or he was a banker, and as we speak now, the value of that property is about 1.1 billion.
Wow.
And yes, and he has just been laid off from the bank. Well, he's in his 50s. Now, what does he plan to do? He wants to sell that property. It's a house he has been living in, all the appurtenances and everything, and then take like 200 or 250 million to go and buy a nice house in Jahi or Jagi. They use the remaining 700 or 800 million to go full time into real estate.
That's so that is the opportunity in the market is just good. It's just too good.
So that is a good retirement plan.
Yeah,
and he probably didn't even foresee it going that way.
Yeah, so in everything, it's not just buying and selling of land. Actually, it goes beyond that. I think there are two parts you mentioned. One is we have like the investment part where you actually look at the investment. Okay, how you want to buy the land and developing it, and or you also see the residential part where you can buy to live in.
No, I think that's where we need to get it right. You don't see it as to the pari passu.
Oh, really? So that's nice.
So that's where people have this perspective, are very particular about location.
Wow. So
you are ready to pay a premium in a place where you know that the value is going to keep on increasing. When you build a house and you are living in it, you also that you are sleeping on top of money.
Okay, I think we'll come to that. To that. So one question I personally want to ask is, with everything going on in the real estate markets, right? I'm just going to say the way I crafted the question. It says here, so what are some of the biggest trends you are seeing in the markets, right? Into this market, what are some of the trends you are seeing? Where are people going to when it comes to the real estate market?
Okay. One of the trend that is becoming very obvious is that a lot more people are becoming savvy about what the real estate market entails, and a lot more people are going in. That means a lot more funds, a lot more capital
is going into the
market, because everybody knows that this is the new gold, this is the new oil in Nigeria. So for the smart ones, what we always look at is where are the areas that the population is spreading to. If you understand a bit of geography, there's always this analysis of how population spread. It doesn't usually spread uniformly.
Yeah.
There's always direction that more and more people are going to at any particular time. So if you have that in your head, then what you usually go and do is just like they say, sort of go there before others see them and wait for them. So people are looking for where is the next big thing in the market and going in because the early movers always have an advantage.
Yeah. So I think one key thing I actually took from what you said is more like follow where the people are going. And it's not just going to where people are going, it's having a foresight to see where people are going before they get there.
Yes.
So you are buying into the future.
And one of the ways you can key into this is to be close to or to have one of the real estate companies, as your advisor. So those are the people that know where the new developments are going, where government are building new infrastructure. So one of the things I've noticed is that once you start seeing 2, 3, 4 developers buying huge swaths of land in any particular area, know that there's something going on.
Wow, I think that's a trend you should actually take note. You should take note of that. So when you say a lot of developers actually buying plots, you should buy. I think somebody said something. He said, I forgot it. He said, was it $10? He is not $10. Somebody said something about $10 when he was saying that he looks at him as his mentor. Anytime he's making certain moves in the market, that is where he goes to buy.
That's where it goes.
So you should look at people who are actually moving the industry.
But a faster way is to be affiliated to one
a real estate agency. Yes.
So those are the ones that will always tell you this is what is going on.
Oh, okay.
So it has to be some an organization that is trusted, that have a reputation to maintain, because for those who are in real estate in Abuja, there are sets of what we call cowboys. I don't know, some from particular states, there are cowboys in the real estate industry whose only mission is to take your money from you. So we have to be very
careful. Okay, I think we'll get into all of that soon. All right, so yes, but so far, trust me, you're learning a lot. There's so much to learn. So I don't know if don't go anywhere, right? Don't go anywhere. Let's keep going. There's this question I really want to ask, right? It's something that a lot of people, especially people it's just majorly for people who are new into the industry, right? I think you just spoke a bit about it. So it's everything you've said so far, it has been insightful, right? Now this is question I'm asking for anyone who is just starting out, right? Anyone who is just starting out, what would you say is the first step they should take, right, before investing in the real estate market, right? What are the first steps they should look out for? What are the things they should look out for before going into the real estate? For people who are about to start up, people who just want
as an individual, as an investor, I think it's also key, like I reiterated earlier, that you find a good real estate company to give you advice. So that's why you see most real estate companies that they have staff they call investment advisors, because that mindset that real estate first and foremost is an investment is key to understanding what is going on.
Wow.
So once you can take your time, do the due diligence to identify a good real estate company, then you partner with them. They will give you all the lowdowns and all those things. Now, another thing you need to also be aware of is there are certain documentations that are necessary for you
to look into as
before you can go into real estate property purchase. There's usually the arrow of O, which is the right of occupancy, which is the most common. There's also the C of O, which is the certificate of occupancy, which is the final documentation. But for most properties, arrow of O is sufficient.
Oh, okay, so arrow of O is sufficient. Yes, mostly in estates property.
Yes, real estate property, arrow of O is sufficient. So once you get a company that has those documentation and have a reputation, because it's very important. Reputation is very important for any company. There are companies that will go to any length to maintain their reputation.
Yeah.
There is no amount of money that will make this sacrifice, because you are looking at the long term.
Yeah.
And the real estate business, you can really get the value if you go the long term. I know a lot of real estate companies that have gone bust 3, 4, 5 years because they didn't take the value the
placed on
their reputation, and that honesty and everything was misplaced. So a lot of people ran away from them and that.
All right. So before I go further into some questions, I just want to say a few things. You see, one of the reasons why we actually set up this platform is to give you the ability to actually get access to knowledge, and access to knowledge without going through the technical process and going to do your research and all. Second thing, one thing that I've gotten personally is before you go into before we go into other investment, but for the real estate, before you go into any real estate investment, partner with a real estate agent. Go and speak to one, right? We'll talk about theirs and see what they have to offer. But partner with a real estate agency, and when you partner with one, make sure it is a trusted real estate. Don't just choose any real estate. All right. So it gives you the ability to get quality information. It gives you the ability to get authentic information and all of that, because this is very, very, very important. Now, for all our real estate brothers and sisters in the house and every other person, there's one question people often ask, and I think if you are new to the real estate, you should literally ask this question, or the question should be on your mind, because when getting properties or when buying land, whatever you're going to buy, when getting them, people often do not take recognition of location. And I think that's a very important thing. Personally, for me, I think it's very important. Location matters. And in course of our conversation, you probably have heard when he said something like, you need to know where the people are going, then go there, right? It's not just places that are overwhelmed with a lot of agencies, but also to know that feature. So I want to ask this question: does location matter?
Location is basically almost everything in when it comes to real estate.
Yes.
A 500 square meter property in Gwagwalada will probably go for 500,000 or 600,000, right? That same 500 square meter property in Asoko will be going for 100 million.
Wow.
Same size, the only difference
is location.
So location is everything in property. And there are two ways you have to look at location when you are acquiring properties. First of all, if you are really going long term,
yes,
okay, yeah, it's okay to buy in places that the value is not so high, but with the mind,
okay,
that development is going to get there.
So it's more like buying the future, because you are sure that there's a future.
You actually
there.
Call it land banking. So it's like putting your money in the bank, I mean a fixed deposit account. So the increase in value over time will be like your fixed deposit interest. So a lot of people also do that, and it's even better than a fixed deposit account, because the value of the land always goes higher than the inflation rates at any point in time in the economy. So I like to call it an inflation busting investment.
All right. Okay, that's quite interesting. So I think this is like the last question we have here is I think this is very good. This particular question is good because it helps people who are still new into the market to understand something. And the question goes like, what are the common mistakes new investors make? Like, you have been in the market for quite some time. What are the common missteps you see people make when they come into the market? Like, what are the things they don't take note of?
I think probably the most common mistake is coming into the business or into the market with not enough knowledge and understanding of what is going on. And that is why I can't emphasize this enough. The best way to go into real estate is to align yourself with a trusted real estate broker or real estate developer, because they give you all the nitty-gritty that you need to understand before you go into it. Because most times, if you don't get this basic understanding, then you're going to learn the hard way. Really hard way. And I will tell you a good example. Like in this Abuja here now,
yeah.
If you buy a land from the community, from the villagers, you just know that what you are buying is a scam.
So it's like anybody that if you just buy land from random person, you are taking a lot of risk.
It might take 10 years
to settle it.
No, before you lose it. It might take 15 years. I've seen places in day, places in a lot of areas where people have built houses.
Wow.
After 10 years, 15 years, the government of the day wakes up one day and say, by law, these lands belong to the government. Because all land in Abuja belong to the Federal Capital Territory, not even the local government area councils.
Yeah, I think that should be part of. So sorry, I saw this in recently. That should be part of. I think the land use.
Land use amendment. So all land in Abuja belongs to the federal. Sure, there are issues where there are situations where even local government councils have given land to people. The wise ones, what they have done is to go to the FCT, the Federal Capital Territory Authority, to rectify
Okay.
that land to carry the name of the Federal Capital Territory Authority. Those who don't do that, then somebody can go to FCDA, the Federal Capital Territory Authority, and get that same land.
Wow.
And bring the document, and you automatically become, you lose out.
Wow.
So it's very important to get all those basic order. People overlook those things. So once you can get a trusted broker, they will guide you through a lot of things that will make you avoid a lot of mishaps.
Okay, all right. So a lot of things has been said here today, and trust me, I think one of the reason I can't overemphasize that why we actually have this channel is to provide this kind of knowledge to you, so that you don't just go into investing or go into the real estate market without having that ample knowledge. Like I guess I said here, it is very important. It's very important. For him, it is important also that you have a real estate agent, a real estate agency by your side. People that will give you accurate knowledge. Because look at it, right?
And it's free.
It's even good. It's free. And if you really look at it, it's not costly to get this knowledge, but it will cost you a lot if you don't actually at the end of the day. If you don't, it will cost you money, to cost you time, to cost you resources, and it costs you headache, honestly. So you have all of this information. It is very good. Get a real estate broker. Have ample knowledge of this market before you go into it. And I hope this has helped you so far. We're going to go for a short break. When we come back, we're going to go into the next segment where we'll be getting 3 tips from our guests. These 3 tips, you probably will be anything. I don't know what they will be, but it will be a 3 tips that will help you in your endeavor. So thank you. So welcome back to Real Estate Insight with Matthew Brown. And I know you're so eager to hear the 3 tips from our guests, and I know you're so eager to hear this. Alright, so before we take much of your time, we'll just give our guests to tell us the 3 tips that are very important.
One of the things I like to tell people about real estate is, the people who get the best bargain in real estate investment, especially in Abuja, are those who get in early.
Wow, get in early. You get that? Get in early.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the way to get in early still comes back to having a trusted real estate advisor. One of the things I've seen happen is there are some areas that are under development and documents are being processed.
Yeah.
They're not out yet, but the developers already have access to those land. So if you have a trusted broker, a trusted real estate consultant, they know those parts of the town or the city where those kind of sites are located. What happens that in those situations, the developers are desperate to sell.
Okay.
So they sell very cheap.
Wow. Okay.
Then by the time the documents, I've seen a situation where a plot of land was 10 million this week. Immediately the document came out the next week, it went to 15 million.
Wow. 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 So if I get it right, so one of your tips is getting early. 2 should be like get a good broker, a trusted real estate agency.
They know, they have their connections
and better insights.
So okay, this land, though the documents are not out, but they have been paid for, because once you pay for it, it's 99% sure that you will get the paper. It might take 2 months, it might take 6 months, but once the FCDA and the regulatory authorities have accepted your payment for processing, then it's a sure bet that those people are going to come out. But because you don't have the actual hard copy, you can't sell at the real value you want to sell. So if
Okay.
you have a trusted broker who knows, who has this kind of information, they can bring you in and say, look, this land, papers are being processed, all the conditions have been met. It's just for, based on, due to government bureaucracy, just delaying. So you can key in, and in a matter of weeks or months, you are doubling your money.
Okay, I think before you bring your third tip, I want to say something here. So I think this is very important. First, remember the first tip: get in early. The second tip is kind of tricky for me because one is it's not tricky in the sense that if you understand the underlying keyword is trusted, because I think this is also one way some people get duped in the real estate market, where people get to promise you that, oh, the document is coming, but at the end of the day, there is no document at all.
Okay.
So I think the underlying word there, I will still also, the underlying word there is to get a trusted broker,
yes.
a trusted broker, because at the end of the day, if you get a trusted broker, you'll be able to get better deals and you'll be able to get good deals. So when you talk about trusted broker, I was not talking about, yeah, it's my uncle, it's my friend, it's this. No. Do these people have the accurate document to make them a real estate agency? Do they have the properties and the backing for this? So these are a few things you should take note of, right? But that tip will literally work. It can save you a lot of money and resources. So do you have any other thing and the last tips?
Yes, the other thing that we say again is the best time to have invested in real estate was yesterday. The next best time is now. If you are aware, by 2050, Nigeria's population will be about 400 million.
Yes.
It will be the third highest population after India and China. And the land will not increase. So what we have is more people, going after the same size of land. In short, one of the scenarios I've created in my mind is that time will come in this country, people will buy the space over your head, over your house. As maybe probably you have a duplex. I want to build 10 stories on top of this. So how much are you going to sell the space for me? It will get to that.
Yeah, so, it's quite interesting.
So and a lot of time people don't feel that it's not a short-term. There's no short-term reward for land. That used to be in the past. Now you can invest in land and you are making profit in 6 months, in 1 year. So it's probably the best financial instrument that you can invest in right now in this country.
Wow. So this last tip was quite interesting. I like the fact he said something very profound where he said the best time to invest in real estate was, he said yesterday, right? The next best time is now. It's now. The whole idea of bringing this to you is not to create an appetite for you to just rush into the real estate market and buy. No, it's for you to understand how the system works, how the market works, and also for you to make the accurate decision before you go into this market. So the next best time is now. So you have to really think about this is now. And I think with my knowledge of economics, right, I understand the place where you talked about demand, right? The demand for the for housing is only going to increase, and people are only going to expand.
And supply
the land is just static. The land is there, so you have scarcity of the land, and that's why land will always appreciate, right? Real estate is not something that you look at and say, okay, the next 10 years is going to it is not going to be the next stock of the time. It will always be. You know why? Land will never increase. We still have the same level of land. And real estate has existed for a very long time. All right. So thank you so much. So we'll go. I just want to give you an opportunity, right? So I know that you are involved in a lot of projects. Like I said, we've spoken for some time and we've interacted. I know that at certain point you've told me you and your organization, Don Rex Luxury Apartments, is involved in certain projects, and I just want to tell you, I just want to give you the opportunity to tell us some of those projects, tell us about them and the opportunity that probably our audience will be interested in, right?
Yeah, we have a number of sites where we are developing right now. Like you see from the name of the company is Don Rex Luxury Apartments. We deal with luxury properties, high value properties, and funny enough, we make it affordable for people because we have flexible payment plans and conditions that are negotiable that will make it convenient for you to own these properties. We have sites as Asokoro extension.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, just after Sunrise Park, which is probably the best entertainment park in Abuja right now. We have also at Katakpi extension. Lovely environment, lovely setting, and the view is breathtaking. It's up on the hill. It's called Liberty Hills Estate, Katakpi extension.
Wow.
We also have at Jikoyi, which is also on the hills, Liberty Hills. So we are very, very committed to giving our customers and our clients the best value, not just best value for the land, but the best place to live in this Abuja. So I urge you to visit our site and give us a call. We can arrange for site visits, and also we are also investment advisors. So we also help people to have a good understanding of the real estate business in Abuja, especially, and how you can key in, irrespective of your financial standing.
Okay.
Because sometimes people think, oh, you have to have all this huge amount of money to acquire a property in Abuja. But with the right real estate consultant, then things become a lot easier for you.
All right. So thank you so much. So before we go into some of the questions our audience have here, I think it's also a good opportunity to reach out to them for probably your investment, your real estate investment portfolio. You want to start anything on real estate, even if you just are starting out. I think they are good for advice. They are also good for their properties. And I love the names for your property, Liberty Hills, both the one in Katakpi extension and all. And I think I've seen some, and I can tell you for real, they are good. They are very good properties. You should check them out. Anyways, you should literally check them out. And like something he has been saying so far, if you really want to go into the real estate market, you need what we call a real estate broker or a very good real estate agency. And he has actually proposed here that Don Rex Luxury Apartments will be there for you, and that's a good one. So just drop a comment or whatever, and they'll be able to reach out to you. I will also try as much as possible to put their details below on this video in the description section. All right, so let's go into the questions from our audience. We're going to be taking 3 because we are already overdue for time. But before that, we'll just go on a short break. Then when we come back, we will take the most important questions from our audience. So leave your questions down on the comments if you have further questions. We'll try as much as possible to respond to that. But most importantly, you could also tell us what kind of video and kind of questions video you want us to create in the future, and we will also respond to that. So we'll catch you after the break. Alright, so we have about 3 questions from our audience here, and I'll be reading them for our guest to respond to each of these questions to the best of his ability. Alright, and let's see how it goes. So the first question we have here is from Amaka Ijoma, and she says, how do I know what is the right time to buy a property in the market? And are there any signs I should look out for? What is the right time to say, okay, let me buy this property? Like for your properties, what are the right time to buy them? And are there signs you should look out for? Like signs that this property is going to increase and all of that?
Yeah, that's a good question. But like I keep saying, your best bet is align with a real estate company.
All right. So they'll be the ones to tell you the best signs and give you this.
Because it's becoming a specialized industry.
Yes.
It's not something that you just walk past. Because, like I said, there are a lot of underground actions going on. There are sites that government are giving contracts to do infrastructural development,
yes,
which you might not be aware of. I'm sure many people don't know this, that there's a corridor being created now between Karishi to connect with Apu.
Wow. And that will open a lot.
So imagine once that road is connected, I'm sure within the next few months it's going to be done. The value of property in that place is going to shoot up.
Yeah, I'm here, right?
So those who have the know-how or the knowledge are already going there and pinning down spots.
All right.
So if you don't know, you don't know.
Okay, so I think I like this because just allow yourself with a real estate agent. Dorex is here. That's it.
The beauty
Dorex
of
is
it
here.
is free.
And it's free. It's free.
If you come, we will entertain you.
You know, funny enough, real knowledge, it's not really expensive if you are determined to get those knowledge. For instance, for somebody that's going to watch this video up to this level, up to this time, it means you are dedicated to it. So it's only going to take a bit of your time, but it's worth it. And wow, I'm mind blown. All right, so we'll go into the next question. It says, this one says, what is the best way to finance my what's the best way to finance my first investment? Should I consider loans or other alternative investment?
Well, loan will only make sense if you have the capacity to service the loan.
Oh, okay.
Because the property might not necessarily yield the desired return in
a very short time
for you to pay the loan. So it's not something that is so advisable. Except, like I said, if you have other means of income to service that loan. Why a loan might be good at a particular point is that you might have very good offer.
All right.
Limited time offer that you need to give. And because your broker, your trusted real estate consultant has told you that this is the next big thing, better you enter now, then, and you have the means to pay back that loan from other sources, then yes, you can take in the loan.
So you just have to consider your risks. Yes. And so I think all of this still boils down to come and meet a real estate agent.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah, because when you do that, they're able to help you analyze some of these things. And yeah, I think other forms of finances are also there if you actually come up right. So we'll take the last question, and this is from IK. It says, I'm interested in luxury estates. It says, what are the challenges of investing in high-end estates? Is that their challenge is investing in luxury properties?
If you ask me, you make the best returns from luxury properties.
Oh, you make the best return from luxury properties.
You make the best because for those prime areas, the people that want them. Price is not an issue.
Yeah, I think that's something. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
There's a property they are advertising close to NNPC now. The going price is 7 billion.
7 billion. Yes. Wow. That's...
So people that need it, they're not going to start negotiating because they know the value of those things. So you go to Asoko, you go to Katankwe Extension, you go to Maitama. People that want to buy it, don't price. If this is the property that meets their need, they're just going to pay for it. So on the long term, in an investment sense, luxury properties actually give you better returns if you can afford it.
All right. That's a perfect answer for this question. So I think we've come to the end of this section and the end of this interview. But before we go, I just want you to just give us a bit. I know you've told us about what you have in the what you have on the ropes, right? The latest project and all. I just tell us a bit about Donrex because it's people also want to get familiar with the agency that they're going to work with, right? Just tell us a bit about Donrex.
We came into this industry with the mindset that we are going to do things differently. And we have tried to abide by those principles. I think one of the things we have been very consistent with is integrity. The ability to say, our word is bankable. You can take it to the bank.
Wow. You can take it to the bank.
Take it to the bank.
So, you can take it to the bank.
What that means is that your investment with us is assured.
Oh, okay.
Now, there's always, we are humans, nobody is perfect, but what we always assure you is that we will keep our promises.
Okay.
We will keep our promises, and we aim to build this whole direct luxury apartment concept is built around that trust and the ability to keep to our promise.
All right. It's so nice to talk to you, Mr. Kingsley. I am also sure that my audience love this, and I know they will also try to reach out as much as possible.
We are open all around. Our office address is at C18 CAPPADOR Mall, 85 Aguiyi Oronsaye Way, Maitama in Abuja. I'm sure our details.
We'll do as much as possible to put all of that up for you. Yes. Do you know what it means for someone to give you the address? You should go to the office. You should go into the office. All right. All right. So much. Thank you so much for this. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for gracing this event for us.
It's always a pleasure. And for me, one of the things I've learned about this life is information and knowledge is the best weapon you have.
Take that.
To navigate the minefield of life. So every opportunity, especially with the real estate business now, that everybody, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, as I say, is now jumping into it. You must be able to separate the wheat from the shaft.
Okay.
So and the first key to doing that is getting a trusted real estate consultants who will guide you through demand, guide you, give you the best options, and you are assured that they are giving you top value advice.
All right. So thank you once more. We wish you the very best going forward, and we wish Direct Luxury Apartment the very best. Do have a nice time. Thank you so much, and I want to say thank you to all our audience. It's been a wonderful time. All right. So thank you so much. I hope this section was helpful to you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I kept my word as I promised. It's been a wonderful time having you in this section, and trust me, you don't want to miss what we have for you next week. We already have a special guest we are preparing that would come for the next week show at Real Estate Insight with Matthew Brown. I'm your host, and I will always be your host for as long as you want me to be. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share, don't forget to leave a comment, and tell us what you think. Tell us what are other information you will need to know about the real estate market. And I'm so excited for the person I'll be introducing in next week's show. So keep following, keep liking, and keep sharing. My name remains Matthew Brown, and I'll see you soon.